Well, it's time for summer travel, and if you're traveling overseas, you might want to consider an insurance policy, a health insurance policy to cover you and your family once you're there. So how do you insure your health overseas? Let's bring in travel expert Mark Murthy. He's the founder and CEO of TravelPulse.com. Mark, welcome back. So,
thanks, Jerry.
Can't my just employer-based coverage cover me overseas? I mean, wouldn't that be the easiest thing?
Only if it's Obamacare. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't, for the most part, cover you. So regardless of what policy you have, you should look into it, call your insurance company. But for the most part, they don't cover you in the case of a medical emergency overseas. It's only here in the U.S. So you're going to want to look at other coverage.
So you're going to look at separate policies, but how do you do that? Where do you go to get quotes?
Well, there's some different websites you can go to. There's a website called InsureMyTrip.com. There's SquareMouth.com, and they'll do comparison shopping. Problem with that is you've got to assess your needs. You've got to look at what needs you have. So is this going to be an active trip, adventure trip? Are you going to be taking some risks? Is it going to be more of a sedentary trip? What's your age? What's your situation health-wise already? Figure out all those things, and then look at some different levels of insurance coverage. You can have comprehensive coverage that covers virtually anything that could happen to you, just like your health insurance at home.
Right.
Emergency medical coverage could cover you.
All right, slow down. You're giving me so much here. I got to break it down, okay?
Go.
I got to catch up with you. So first things first, you might not want to buy, right? If you're in what kind of situation, you might say, you know what, I'm not really going to bother with this. I'll take the risk.
That's what, young, healthy, active people, that's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, why do I need insurance? They're saying
Unless
that
you're
here
taking
domestically
that, jumping out of a plane trip, right? Unless you're doing something that could really put you in danger.
Yeah, so I would say look at it regardless of your age or your health situation, but especially look at it if you're going to be active. If you're going to be rock climbing or doing something like that, absolutely, because you run a much higher risk of being injured. But people step off of cruise ships in a port in, let's say, Italy and break their ankle. Now you're at the emergency room, forget it. You're going to get stuck with a huge bill, so cover yourself.
Well, there's two points to that. Yes, you'll have a big bill, but also what's the quality of care you're going to get overseas? I mean, what should people know if they do have to get care when they're traveling?
The key is you're going to want to go to a private hospital. A lot of these countries, I'll take Mexico for instance, has a public health care system. When my nephew got bit by a little critter, he went to the private hospital. It was unbelievable care, fantastic situation. It's really set up there for tourists. And depending on the market, depending on the country you're going to, they'll have a level of hospitals for folks that can pay out of pocket, and they'll have a level for the common person that's there. And you're definitely going to want to pay the extra money and go to the private hospital because you're going to get an excellent level of care.
Better
Absolutely.
care. Mark, before you go, how much would I expect to pay for coverage for me and my family for a typical 2-week vacation?
It all depends. It depends on your age, your health, pre-existing conditions. I can't quote you that. I'm not a licensed health care provider, but you can talk to a travel agent. They can shop the plans for you, and you can see inclusions, exclusions, and really get a good picture of what the cost will be and the benefit.
Couple of hundred?
Couple $100.
Okay.
Depends on the length of the trip. There's so many factors, Jerry.
Mark, thank you.
Starts at a few hundred. Thanks.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks.